Neeb. Let's go ahead and jump into Belcher Vestige. And here we go. Down in the bottom right-hand corner of Belcher Vestige, the red Terran player representing Team Axiom. His name is Hart. And his opponent up in the top left, the blue North American hopeful, his tournament life on the line. It is Neeb.
Now we spoke a little bit about Neeb's result. It's not all rainbows and butterflies though when it comes to his TVT, because he did play against the Muslim as well and he lost that series 0-2. And Hart on the other end, despite not perhaps having the winningest record or the winningest, so I was close, record in TVT, at least in WCS, his results are actually pretty impressive. He lost 1-2 against Tasia. Well, anyone who takes a map of Tasia in my book is close to...
that puts him in the...
in the upper echelon of Terran players.
Exactly.
Then he also lost 1-2 against the SCC. Not too much to be ashamed of either, even though that's no Tasia. You could say like, maybe the SCC is a beatable opponent. He was, for instance, he was able to defeat Major 2-0, and you know Major is pretty damn good. Still, without a doubt, one of the best North American Terran players. So, despite losing a couple of series here and there, he lost them against very respectable opponents. And when he had someone you could say on paper that he was supposed to beat, he did beat him. So it definitely won't be easy for Neeb. Neeb.
Yep, he's going to send out that SCV scout, booking it across the center.
Now what I remember from Neeb's games against Drunken Boy is that it's most of the time it's a mixed ban. It's either a Cloak Banshee opening or it's a Raven opening, Raven Viking, into something different. I think it just depends a lot on what he thinks his opponent is going to do rather than that he really has a plan. He has quite a bit of information to look up on when it comes to Hart. Of course, once more guys, make sure to check out the StarCraft 2 portal at starcraft2.com/WCS. If you ever miss a broadcast or if you ever just want to watch 4 or 5 games of your favorite player, check out starcraft2.com/WCS. It is so easy to navigate and you'll find everything you need.
Gas opening here for Hart and no Reaper. Means we're probably going to be seeing a pretty quick factory. What is he going to do with it? Where is it? I see it on the production tab. Oh, there it is. Tucked away up in the top of his base. A little bit hidden.
Oh, you see a
factory in that position makes me think he wants to go starport.
Yeah, I mean, second refinery is going down already as well. I think it's very safe to say that Hart is going to open up with Cloak Banshees unless he decides to surprise us. Neeb on the other end is going to switch things up, man. We saw the reactor going down at this Rex and he's going to follow this up with a command center. So no quick tech for Neeb. What he will probably do is at least get a couple of Marines out, then try to get 1 or 2 Widow Mines out and helping to defend against those potential Banshees. And then maybe start off with a Viking.
We do see the starport going up on the production tab there for Hart. So Neeb will have the slightly more economic opening. This is a very familiar story for us. One player getting the early expansion, the other player going for the harassment-based Banshee play. And it just becomes a question of whether or not you can do the damage to equalize. And almost always it just turns into a situation where yes you can, and you end up in a mid-game where both players are pretty even.
And then by the time that Hart, his command center, finishes up, we take a look at the work account and like, oh, it's kind of even right now. And if it's exactly even, that's a good scenario for the Terran player who decided to open up with Cloak Banshee, because hey man, at least he has Cloak. That's something he can rely on throughout the entire game.
There's that Cloak research that we were talking about. We see some Hellions on the way.
Very interesting opening here by Neeb.
Oh, Hellion drop? Oh, I like this. I think that is theoretically very good against what we're seeing here out of Hart, but of course everything does come down to execution and positioning and whether or not that Hellion drop gets spotted.
If a couple of Hellions run into a Marine without seeing it on move command and they get shot, then your entire strategy is in jeopardy already. So it all comes down to execution, like you mentioned. But it has a lot of potential, certainly because of course these Cloak Banshees are most of the time on the other side of the map. If these Hellions are just going to run up the ramp though, Ben, which, you know...
It's starting to look that way.
Yeah.
There's a Viking being produced, no medevac.
There is a full wall up over here. Like Hart is almost playing right now like he has full vision. Which he definitely doesn't. I can guarantee you that. Great scout over here with his Banshee
bummer.
as well. Banshee picks up Helium, but what this does do is slow the Banshee down a tiny bit and also gives Neeb time to get his units in a good position and be like, hey, Banshee's on the way.
Now, Neeb has no doubt played against openings like this millions of times before.
Oh,
Or at least hundreds.
Millions might be pushing it a little bit, man.
Cloak Banshee will begin picking away at Marines immediately. Good control here by Hart.
But I
What's
think
the situation with scan energy?
He probably has... No,
Oh
he actually
dear.
doesn't have enough.
This is very awkward. So every single Marine is going to fall. I don't know that there's an engineering bay up. Kevin, this is suddenly a very difficult situation.
Certainly because one scan is actually not going to kill this Banshee. Just there's no way.
He's going to float right out of scan range, go straight back
I'm not
down into the
even
natural.
sure if the second scan is going to do it. He's going to try to take the risk go. He's going to need 3 more shots. He's not going to get it, so that's
Oh,
a double
man.
scan, and he won't be able to pick off this Banshee.
Now, the good news for Neeb is that the energy on that Banshee is running out. There is a Raven on the way, so ultimately he will... What?
Neeb GG?